Psalms 58:3. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear. When the truth is brought out, it's pushed to the side, it's ignored, or they just come with the literal verbiage. It just doesn't matter. Call halal Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai Bahasham Rakak Wadash. Double honors unto the apostles, double honors unto the elder bishops. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more so than ever. To the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth among the heathen that look like those heathens, the Israelite foreigners. And to the few Akwaf that are listening and learning, to you, I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago. All right. And the Spirit just keeps bringing me back to this subject. I wasn't looking for this. When I turned on the computer, it was the first thing that popped up. And the Spirit like respond to it. And this is a channel that I have mixed emotions about. But once again, they're keeping Amalek in the forefront. And this is the We Woke channel. All right. We woke now. All right. And especially with the negativity that's created around that verbiage, around that saying. All right. But it's true that, when you wake up to the truth, they come against the whole wokeness because they want to deny the evidences of their crimes, of their thievery, and of their murder because it is embarrassing and shameful spewing upon their glory. All right. When in times not that long ago, times past, they were very proud of the rape, rob, murder, conquering, and colonization that they did. But now with the internet and with social media, the shame that comes with it and the demand for justice to make things all right, well, they don't like it. All right. Just yet another reason why so many of them don't want to be cops anymore. All right. It's not a glorified thing to be a cop anymore. And one of the main reasons is that you don't have the just the freedom to do anything you want to do to people of color, especially Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Without any further ado, this particular one is called Rabbi Says Khazar Discussion Isn't Anti-Semitism. All right. So here we go.
Are you familiar with the Khazar theory? There's a theory, it's widely accepted as anti-Semitic, that Ashkenazi Jews come from the Khazars and they're not Levantine. But DNA tests.
It's not anti-Semitic. It's a question of fact.
So basically what he just said is that it's a question of fact, which means that it's not a theory. It's an act factual. And from the school books that are used in the curriculum, you will not find the Khazar. As a matter of fact, I've got some pretty old dictionaries here. And the word Khazar, even though you have a meaning for it and everything, it's not in there. And I'm really on the hunt and hope that maybe one of my subscribers can lead me to, or I just happen to come across some old literature that predates the American school systems. Authors wrote about this because that's where all this information is coming from. But those books are just removed from the curriculums in school because they're trying to hide it. So what this rabbi just said, it is not a question of anti-Semitism. It is a question of fact. So he just basically confirmed that the Khazar theory isn't a theory at all. It is indeed fact. Let me get a scripture real quick. Is Isaiah 28:15, even though this is actually talking about Israel, but these people are subscribing to, you got to remember the duality of the scriptures, all right? But this is Isaiah 28:15. It says, because ye said, we have made a covenant with death, and with hell and we are at agreement, when the overflowing scourge shall press through, it shall not come unto us, for we have made lies our refuge, and under falsehoods have we hid ourselves. And that's the whole MO of Esau Edom. They're living high and mighty on the hog. They're the Amalek, which is he of this rabbi. It said that the Lord would have war with Amalek from generation to generation, and Amalek would be the first of the nations. Well, Christianity has taught that Amalek is done away with. All right, but we know that's not true, because Amalek is the first of the nations. So what people come first in this society, no matter how much wrong, no matter what they do. All right, who have dominion over governments, over the banking systems, where they can actually, even though they're not, in some cases, not a part of official governance, but yet dictate, dictate what goes on within governments, policy. Okay.
So, Shlomo San, for example, has argued that, I think probably exaggerated.
He just moved Shlomo San. I mean, he just mentioned Shlomo San has argued. All right. Shlomo San is I think he may be a rabbi. I know one thing for sure. He's definitely an educator. He's a professor at the Israeli University. All right. One of their colleges, their main college there. All right. And that's who he's speaking on.
But it's simply a question of fact. If my ancestors from the Ukraine have Khazar roots, changes nothing. I'm Jewish.
So it doesn't matter that they're Khazars. They're Jewish, which proves, being this rabbi is admitting to you that they are converts. That's literally what he's saying, that they are converts and they're not the people. But it doesn't matter, because they're in the land now and they're Jewish. The very name is telling you what they are. All right? All right? The suffix ish means to be like or pertaining to. You know? We've often used the analogy of something is bluish. It's not really blue, but it's bluish, or it's red-ish. They say, what color was the car? It was kind of brownish, right? What they're saying is they're kind of like Judah, but not really Judah. They're definitely not Judah, all right? And you can't label the 12 tribes, all 12 tribes, Jewish. It's another falsehood and a lie, all right? You cannot you cannot label Naphtali Jewish. You cannot label Issachar, Benjamin, Ephraim, Zebulun, Simeon, Gad. You cannot label them Jewish. All right. That word is a subword coming from the word Judah, which is just one of the 12 tribes. All right. Abraham, neither Isaac, neither Jacob were Jewish. They were Israelites. All right. Well, starting with Jacob. He was the first. All right. Because his name was changed to Israel. So all of his sons, his 12 sons, became the patriarchs of Israel. The blessing fell upon them, and they were melanated people with over curly hair for the most part. All right? Point blank, period. And their relics and artwork still in the earth today to prove that.
My grandfather was Jewish. My family happens to have a story saying that we're descended from the Baal Shem Tov. Okay, that's part of the culture. Doesn't matter what the DNA shows.
So to hell with the DNA, all right? To hell with all that. I think this is a commercial. I hope not. It doesn't matter. Because he just basically said that his grandfather, there's a story within his family that they are indeed part of the Khazars.
My name is
We don't care what your name is. There it is. When the truth comes out, just like the rabbi said.
Doesn't matter what the DNA shows. And we live, I mean, this is a point that Khazar made over a century ago in his lectures on the two Moseses. He says, yes, there's a Moses of history, who may have existed, may not have existed.
So this is a rabbi who's saying that Moses may not have even existed. Come on, man. And these are supposed to be the people of the Lord. All right. He's pale. He's, according to the Bible, if you actually read the scriptures, according to the Torah, all right, this guy is a clean leper. All right. He has leprosy. He's pale all over. He makes him a clean leper. If he was spots, he would be unclean. So the Edomites are nothing but clean lepers. Remember, Moses put his hand in his bosom, and it turned white. And then he put it back in his bosom, and it turned the same color of his own flesh. All right? So when he put his hand in his bosom, it turned like this guy. That would be a great miracle in a sea of melanated people. But in a sea of pale people, you wouldn't even be able to tell. These people are liars. Let's go to the scriptures. We don't need to watch any more of this video. Let's run this down with the scriptures now. This is Psalms 10 and 18. Wasn't what I was looking for, but you know what? I think I'm going to read it anyway. I just took a moment to read it. And it says to judge. Matter of fact, I started 17. Matter of fact, I started at 16. It says, Yahweh is king forever and ever. The heathen are perished out of the land. Yahweh have heard the desire of the humble. Thou wilt prepare their heart, meaning their minds. Thou wilt cause thine ear to hear, to judge the fatherless and oppress the man of the earth, and oppress and Salaki, to judge and oppress, to judge the fatherless and the oppressed, that the man of earth may no more oppress, that these people may no longer oppress not only the Israelites but the whole world. All right, because through much oppression do they rule. All right. Next scripture. A lot of them in Psalms here. Because that hatred that they have, with, 18. Yeah. This is Psalms 31 and 18, and it reads, Let the lion lips be put to silence, which speak grievous things proudly and contemptuously against the righteous. That will be Esau, Edom. With their media, with the way that they teach, with their false pseudoscience, teaching that you're less of a person or less of a human being, less intelligent, when basically all modern day technology literally came from the ancient world, revamped, and the ideas for the most part that make this modern, not this very computer that we're operating on. They talk about what's his name, Bill Gates, and the other guy that was in the wheelchair, Steve Jobs, but they don't mention the all the Israelites, the Jakes, the men and women that made all this possible with their contributions. The most used thing in the world right now is GPS, and that was created by a so-called black woman. GPS is used every day, all day long. But you would never know it. All right? Because anytime they talk about computers, you make movies, all you see is Steve Jobs and Bill Gates. All right? This is let's go back into Psalms again. Yeah. This is Psalms 59 and 12, and it says, For the sin of their mouth and the word of their lips, let them even be taken in their pride, and for the cursing and lying which they speak. All right, so they speak against, they call us heathen, goyim, when they're the goyim, and we're the sons of God. We're the people of Israel, the true Israelites, the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, and our people that are scattered among all the other nations. And the Lord is coming to draw our people out of those nations. That would be Revelation, the 7th chapter and the 9th verse. That's that great multitude which John couldn't recognize, right? Because how you going to live among Amalek here for 3-4 generations, all right, and still look like your Negroid former self, all right? If your seed line survived, then that soul person that came from that seed, that's still an Israelite, regardless of what their outward appearance is. And you got a lot of people who just refuse to accept what the Bible actually says on such things, all right, and make this about color. But you know what? That's Esau's doing, because they've learned the ways of the conquering colonizers and their false science, and they're holding dear to it, and they're not holding dear to spiritual things, because Esau was the one that brought color into this. And as a matter of fact, if you go back 600 years ago, 700 years ago, no one cared what you looked like. What they wanted to know was who your father was, what tribe you came from, what people you came from, because people understood that you could look like someone else, but your father can be the same as them, which makes you what they are. That's why when you watch movies like, period pieces, when they announce people, they always, Prince so-and-so, son of so-and-so, so-and-so, Princess so-and-so, daughter of so-and-so, so-and-so. They wanted to know who you were, Everyone watched the Game of Thrones. The houses, when a house is a race. That's a family line, a bloodline, all right? And it was never through the mother. It was always through the father. That's another lie that these people, because this rabbi and people like him who just admitted, what he is, and then the DNA is telling on him. Because I didn't know that it was illegal to take DNA tests in the land of Israel. Because why? Because it always shows you that they're not from there. They're not the people. All right, that they came from or what they were, Eurasia, or came from Asia. All right. Modern term. Their first home was Mount Seir, was just below Israel. All right. But let's get this last scripture. It's just literally one of my favorites, because we're living in a time where it's coming to pass that this is happening. Literally, since the men of the Lord, since the apostles and elders went live on the internet in June of 2007. All right. I mean, there were other people that were on the internet, even Nathaniel 7. All right. When he was a Nathaniel Allah guy, but I believe that was what his name was, Nathaniel Allah, because I was watching him, learning from him. And of course, I always give credence and respect to Priest Ahawam, because before I was learning from the elders, I was watching and learning from him, and he was a one Wester, and his doctrine was literally the same, as the apostle and elders. All right. But the Spirit led me to Great Millstone. It led me to the elders. They were the elders at the time, to the elders of Great Millstone. All right. But this is 2 Ezra 6 and 27. And it reads, "For evil shall be put out, and deceit shall be quenched. As for faith, it shall flourish. Corruption shall be overcome, and the truth, which have been so long without fruit, shall be declared." And basically, since the time of the Renaissance, the rebirth of what? Esau, Edom, the red dragon, which was wounded. They were in that pit for that 1,000 years, right? They were wounded, but yet lived. So 1,000 years after Rome fell, the Roman Empire rose again with Esau, Edom. That's why in Psalm 63, it tells you that the Lord, Yahweh, returns to a world ruled by the Edomites. All right. And the chief tribe of Esau, Edom, is Amalek. And those are your Jewish people today. Call halal Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakak Wadash, Kwam Yasharala Shalom.